Hello, Irina. Thanks for joining us in that interview. How are you doing today?
Good, thank you. We have a beautiful snowy weather outside. Finally, some snow.
That sounds cool. Could you introduce yourself to us?
Hello, everybody. My name is Irina Polovodova Asteman, and I'm a marine micropaleontologist with Ukrainian roots and Russian citizenship. So I would say it's a complicated time to have both at the same at this particular moment. And now, currently, I work at University of Gothenburg in Sweden. And my major research interest is benthic foraminifera as proxies of past and present environmental changes.
Could you tell us more about your profession, what you did, you do now, and your future plans?
I have graduated from University of St. Petersburg, State University, and then I went to Germany to Guiomar and the University of Kiel to do my PhD. And after that, I did a postdoc in here in Gothenburg and then in Bergen in Norway. And since 2019, I'm a senior lecturer in marine geology and micropaleontology at the University of Gothenburg. Yes.
Oh, that's cool. And maybe do you have any model who inspired you to do your work?
I would say maybe I had two of them. First of all, my mom, who kind of from my childhood taught me that every profession deserves a respect, whether you cleaning floors or you are working in the bank, because all we equally important and kind of regarding with diversity. I think she was very clear with that from the beginning when I was growing up. And then professionally, I would say the person who really influenced me a lot is Elisabeth Alve, professor at University of Oslo, because I really admired her perseverance of trying to convince authorities that benthic foraminifera are really important tools to study environmental changes, and they can really inform us about reference conditions when you work in such complicated environments such as fjords, for instance, which is my major area of investigation. And then later I also learned that she actually has three kids, and she got all of three kids during her PhD. So I learned it much later, and I was really impressed by that. I became mom quite late, in late 30s, and I always felt being very torn in between two worlds. Doing something you really love, doing science, and then getting a child of your own. So this means you have two kids, but they turn you into different directions. So that was my biggest issue, I would say, over the last 4 years since Anna came to this world, my daughter.
And what would you tell to inspire and empower girls and young women to pursue in career?
I would say don't despair if you think that combining career and life, private life and kids and family is not possible. Of course, it's very different. I mean, I did it in Scandinavia, which has the most generous parental benefits, but it's not the same everywhere. But be clear with what is important to you, and I think having passion for science, it's very difficult to give it up. I know that. I left academia for some time, and it was like going through divorce. You had to really leave behind everything you've been doing for the last 15 years or so. But I would say this is very important to set priorities and thinking, what do you want to do? Do you really want to pursue academic career? Is it important for you, or is it too stressful and you would rather prefer doing something else? Because there is life outside academia, we know that, and there are lots of wonderful professions even within geoscientists for micropaleontologists like us, if we want to leave it. But I would say, maybe this is something I shouldn't say, to encourage girls to leave academia. I would say what's important is to stand up for yourself. If you feel that you say yes to many tasks which would not benefit your career, learn to say no, and be very clear that you would rather prefer and focusing on putting out as many publications as possible than doing some administration work, for instance, if you work at the
Mhm.
department. And then another thing I would also say, at some point in their career, we go in for conflicts. It's inevitable, and don't allow anybody to sweep conflicts under the carpet. Be clear that you would not allow that, and you want this conflict to be solved. If there is any issue, if you feel that you've been robbed of your scientific ideas by senior colleagues or something like that, be clear that you would not allow that and stand up for yourself and keep your ground. That's what I would say is really important, that you show
Thanks.
that nobody is allowed
Really,
to undermine you in any
that
way.
words, that words even inspire me. So thanks a lot.